When you think about Callaway, you often think about how good the Paradym drivers have been in the last couple of years. You also probably think about the Apex irons. What you don't always think about are wedges when it comes to Callaways. But introducing the new Opus and Opus Platinum range, that's what we're going to be talking about today in this video. And guys, if you're enjoying the content, do make sure to hit that subscriber button below to see James reverse into the buggy. But we are talking about these wedges today because obviously the biggest talking point at the moment is pricing golf. How much are golf clubs, how much are drivers? And these wedges have a premium price. That's all we're going to say about them first. But I'm going to start with the standard wedges, and we can get a couple of different finishes in these wedges. But for me, we all know that these wedges have to live up and have to beat a certain other manufacturer. Straight away there, that felt pretty good, and this is the 52 degree, 10 degrees of bounce with the S grind on there. So when we talk about wedges, again, we have to mention all the stuff that we see on the bottom of the club. We see a lot of numbers on there. We know we're going to get the loft. We also know we've then got to talk about bounce and grind, and that's the endless question that a lot of everyday golfers ask. What is bounce and grind, and what is it going to do for you? And that's what you have to think about when you're buying wedges. It has to fit in with your set, it has to fit in with your technique. We're going to get all different bounces on the bottom of the club, and like we say, grinds, which are going to interact with the turf differently. They're also going to give you a different option of how potentially you could open that club up, and we can still generate a good strike like that one there. That's a 52 degree. This is the standard bounce, or the S bounce, or the S grind even, and this will give you some versatility. It's right in the middle of the pack. It's going to be able for you to open it and close it. We've also got here a 56 degree in the next finish that we can get on there. This does state that it is blue. I think this is a black finish we've decided on, James.
Blue would be a letdown.
We don't really always like blue clubs. And again, a black finish is something else that you talk about, because how easy are these going to scuff up? Again, a premium price on these Opus wedges. Not quite as expensive as the Platinum ones, which we'll get to shortly, but as premium components as you'd expect. 115 gram dynamic gold shaft in there, which you can get in your flex. We can also obviously get graphite if you need it. But this S grind, certainly nice and versatile. Not the shot you would play from here. You can see a lot of spin on that. Yes, a little bit of landing angle, but also spin. And when we talk about spin, you wouldn't be expecting to get it from there. So yes, we know these are new grooves, but we also know with this groove pattern, they are saying they are going to generate more spin. And that's what we all want to hear, isn't it? When we talk about wedges, we want to hear more spin. Now we go into the Platinum range. You can see a few differences in looks there straight away. One big thing with this wedge, with the Platinum range, we've got an extra groove in there. Whilst I grab a couple more golf balls, there is also some other changes that you can see, which is a different shaft in there. So we have got 115 gram dynamic gold shaft, a different finish there, and we've also got the Golf Pride multi-compound grip in there. Straight away for me here, this does look a little bit better with that shaft. It's still going to perform exactly the same, but looks wise, confidence behind the golf ball, it does give me, and I can certainly see that they've gone tighter with the grooves. We have got that extra groove in there for maybe more spin. And that is a fantastic drop kick, but you can see that I've still got away with that. I've still got control. It's the best shot I've hit. And it seems to be a pattern. If you've watched James Robinson's video, we've not found anywhere near the centre as of yet. But one big talking point with this club is about the grooves. So the grooves are saying that obviously they are going to be able to work just as well if we open that club face up. So if we open that club face up there, it's saying that those grooves are still going to be working towards our target. So obviously straight away there, what it's going to do for us is generate spin front to back. It's not going to be that one when we cut across the ball, potentially that it spins off to the right and we've got to counter in for that. A spin axis. So let's see if we can find the elusive middle. And that was plenty of spin on there, but we're moving closer towards the middle. But for me, these certainly do feel a little bit softer, but coming in at a premium price, like we said. These are going to be setting you by RRP is £229. So we thought Vokeys were getting expensive, we thought other brands were getting expensive at around about £170, £180. Callaway have gone a little bit further. There's a lot more things in these wedges to take into account. We do have a multi-material in there, so you can see we have the tungsten weighting at the bottom. We're then trying to spread the weight out to, again, generate a better ball flight. We know, like we see on the bottom here, we've got the 58 degree, 10 degrees of bounce, and it is the S grind. But you look at that flight, that came out nice and low with a lot of spin. And that's what that weighting is going to do. Different materials are going to help us move that CG. And the idea, which is a funny one, is these are wedges, but we're trying to get them to launch low and spin a lot, even though it's got 58 degrees. So we're constantly trying to work these clubs different to what they're set up to.
We've got to leave it in to left mine in.
And I've certainly found the leading edge right there. So again, a poor swing there, and this is where you have to think about it. What's your price range? What are you wanting to get out of your wedges? Because right there, that's a poor swing. No wedge is going to save you. Whether that was a £50 wedge or a £229 wedge, unfortunately, it's not going to do anything for us. But both of those, we can see a consistent strike pattern. If we put those down, we can see a nice collective towards the toe, but good spin control, good launch conditions, and for me, that's where they are performing as well as, let's say, your other premium brands. But let's go over the bunker now. Let's jump into the bunker and see how they do from there. Now, myself and James were lucky to go to the launch party for these at the Open last week, and a lot of the players were really enjoying those, and we know that the Open champion did have one of those in his bag. Unfortunately, he had two other clubs in there, which we'll not mention on this video, but he has put them straight into the bag, or at least one. And Callaway are really proud of this, obviously, of the improvements they have made to these wedges, because after all, if you think, have a think about who you play with. Think about if you're an everyday golfer, how many golf bags do you see when you're at your golf club, you're walking up and down, or you go to the driving range? How many Jaws wedges did you potentially see? And for me, it wasn't maybe one of their best-selling wedges, although obviously the numbers were good with those. Sales, how many do you see in the golf bag? For me, I think you'll see a lot more of these Opus wedges in the golf bag, depending on what you like to spend. Again, they're launching nice and low, 58, a little bit of grab there. But let's jump into the bunker, which unfortunately we know James is a bit of a wizard out of. But let's see what we can do with these. Versatile, 58 degree. Have we got a bit of spin? A little bit of spin there. Nice and easy to get out. A fantastic feeling wedge there for you. So think about it. Would you go for the Platinum one? Or are you going to see the differences? It's all about thinking about...
The key's getting the right grind, isn't it?
It is. Look on there. Obviously, look online and you'll start to see the different options. We've got plenty of options of the grind and the bounce.
A grind, C grind, S grind,
Z grind, X
T
grind.
grind,
So we've got
W grind.
We've got plenty of options for you. You have to make sure that it suits yourself. It suits where you're playing. If you're playing in conditions where you might be playing links golf, then you want something with less bounce and you want something with potentially a different grind than you might do if you're playing on a Heathland golf course or even a Parkland golf course. So guys, think about Callaway when you think about wedges now. It's not all about the long stuff.